So now let me tell you about the program and why it's different from a lot of other courses that are out there. So the aim of this course is to equip young people to find their own way to meaning, purpose, and success in their careers. So we can think about careers in three levels. The first one is outcomes. This is what we want out of our careers. So things like financial security, recognition, growth, meaning, and purpose. You can't get this stuff directly though. For that, you have to do stuff. And that brings us to the next layer, which is process. This is the things that we do. So we learn skills, we complete tasks at work, we apply for an interview for jobs. This puts us in a much better position to be able to achieve outcomes. However, we think there's a layer underneath this as well. And this is what we call work systems. Work systems are the how and why behind our process. It encompasses questions like how do you plan your week? How do you make decisions about where to work? How do you differentiate yourself in the job market? Which skills do you learn at a particular time? And how do you decide what you want out of a particular phase of your career? And so most courses that are out there focus on the process layer. They'll teach you how to become proficient at a specific kind of task. It could be design, sales, online marketing, software engineering, anything like that. We, however, focus on this work system layer. And so let me tell you how we do that. We split work systems into 4 components that we think together provide everything a person needs for success from their career. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the different modules and some key courses there. So our first module is personal productivity, and this covers everything that we need to be effective on our own. The first course here is agency. A lot of us attribute our outcomes and mindsets to things that are not within our control. The environment, past events, our personalities. So the idea of the agency course is 2 things. First, that in any situation, we can choose our response to what's happening outside. And secondly, that we're always best served by focusing on the things that we can control and acting on them. This is the very foundation for everything that we do, because without practicing these 2 perspectives, it's impossible for us to become independent in our careers. The second course that we cover in personal productivity is execution. And this is how we manage our goals, tasks, and calendar. This is the first course we teach, because if we can't complete tasks, there's no way to progress in any other area. The third course is deep work. Here we learn how to focus and do high-value work, while starting to approach work as a joyful and fulfilling pursuit, rather than something that we are forced to do. And just to underline its importance, the number of deep work sessions that we get done is the single most important metric that we track through the internship. In problem solving, we learn the principles behind design thinking and how to apply them to a diverse set of problems. It equips us with a basic framework to approach problems in many different fields, including product, design, engineering, sales, getting jobs, and a number of other things. Okay, so that's everything for module 1. The next module is communication, which is really crucial to long-term professional success. Here we have 2 courses. The first one is empathic communication, where we learn how to have conversations that create empathy and connection rather than conflict. Although this serves us really well in our professional lives, it'll also help in our personal and internal lives as well. And it's one of my favorite courses in our whole apprenticeship. The second course that we talk about is appreciation. And here we learn to understand the deep human need for recognition and encouragement, and learn to incorporate this understanding in the kind of default way that we communicate as a way to build deep and long-lasting relationships throughout our professional careers. The third module is learning skills, and this is what connects us to the process layer. Here we learn an abstract framework to learn skills, including finding people to learn from, finding resources to build our academic knowledge, and also building tacit knowledge through practice. We also learn how to make sure that we're always allocating enough time to learning, and that we learn a broad set of skills that together propel our career forwards. The last module that we have is called Finding Work, and we have 2 key courses here. The first one is Finding Good Work. Here we examine what it means to find good work, and we learn about coherence, or being able to see the connection between our values and the work we do on a day-to-day basis. We also learn a way to prototype our work so that we have a lived experience of things before we commit to them. And this is to make sure we don't invest a lot in getting a certain kind of job only to realize that we don't enjoy it. And the last course that I'll be talking about is Getting Gigs. This is essentially how to get paid work. Many career courses teach us how to write resumes and find jobs online. However, these are surface level strategies that may not work all of the time. We look at hiring as a sales process and break it down into different stages, giving people the ability to be creative in how they approach job getting. One key thing to realize is that getting your first job isn't the goal here. The goal is to be able to find jobs again and again without much effort. So we can focus on finding the job that works really well for us rather than going to the first one that'll have us. Also, with the hiring landscape changing as quickly as it is, a lot of the kind of old traditional paths of applying for jobs and waiting to hear back don't work anymore. And rather, what we want to do is enable people to proactively seek out work, build networks, and create audiences whose members may one day hire them. So those are some of the key courses. The way that they're administered is that all courses are taught with a common structure, which starts with experiments to see if and how that course works for students. We want to use positive lived experiences to build each system, as this is the only way to incorporate these into our natural behaviors and mindsets. What's also unique about the program is that everybody is free to choose their own path. We all have different goals, careers, and past experiences. And we want to make sure that the learning is relevant and engaging and not simply an academic exercise. In terms of the success that we've already had, I can show you what some past students have had to say about their experience. But these are just words on a screen. What I think is a lot more meaningful is to show you the detailed and thoughtful posts that past apprentices have shared about their work. And I think these give a much clearer picture of what they've learned and how they've progressed. So that's all I wanted to say. Please get in touch if you're interested in making this kind of training available for your students or employees, or if you have any other ideas on how we can enable young people to find their own way to meaning, purpose, and success in their careers.